Hello and a very good evening from my side. This is your German language trainer Charvi Sharma with Cochiva. Let us begin about today's agenda. What all will be discussed in today's session. I will very roughly touch upon these things that are mentioned on your screens as you can read. So we are going to first understand why should you learn German? What is it that is so special about German? Okay, what is the zest that will pull you towards the German language? We are going to discuss all of that. Okay, and because German is a new language, how should you go about it? Is it just like English? Is it just like Hindi? How will you approach the language? That is very much important. Before you start delving in the language, you must understand its essence, right? Then we will also be touching upon the course objectives, what is expected out of you, how you should start your German language journey, where will it take you, right? All those things we will be discussing. Then we are also going to discuss a lot of facts about German. How is it similar to English? How is it different than English? Okay, is it very tough as a European language or is it very easy? We are going to touch upon all those aspects as well. All right. So as beginners of the German language journey, let us start off our interactive sessions. Now, I'm going to discuss a lot of things about German. So first, we are going to start talking about the facts about German language. Let's see how much you already know. And the things that you don't, I will also fill in for you guys. Okay, so let's start the session. Did you all know that the German language is not just spoken in Germany, which is also called Deutschland, yeah, but it is also spoken in a lot of areas other than the typical German land. Netherlands, even in India, you know, in Udaipur, if you've traveled any time to Udaipur, you'll find so many Germans over there. Madurai, Tamil Nadu, sehr gut. Yes, that is also very correct. You know, I traveled to Udaipur a number of times and I come across so many Germans. They just love the Indian heritage. You can just go there, interact with them. Dehradun, yes, all the very beautiful tourist places that India has, you will find a lot of Germans traveling there. Good. So yes, to highlight Luxembourg, Belgium. Nobody mentioned Belgium, yeah? So in Belgium also, yes, Sarita, wunderschön. In Belgium also, yeah, parts of Italy, in fact, sehr gut. Yeah, Austria and Switzerland, we already mentioned this. But did you all also know, just like the English language, German language also has a lot of dialects? Yeah, do you know? German also has different dialects. So if you go to Switzerland, then their German will sound a little different than how it sounds in Berlin. There's very slight difference in words, in accents, in tones, right? The dialect is different. Now, an Italian person speaking German will sound a little bit different than like a German person from Berlin speaking the same German. So that is something really interesting to note. Yeah? Hello Varun, guten Abend. Okay, sehr gut. Now I think, yes, that is absolutely correct, Nitin, yes. Just how our native languages are also very much different in dialects and accents, right? Yes, actually, Mohammed, you will be able to interact. Even people in Switzerland will understand what you are saying, okay? But again, some accents can be difficult to catch. So what will you do in those contexts? You can develop the habit of listening to a lot of German, okay? There are a lot of German channels available on YouTube, on social media platforms. The more you listen, the more you will understand German as a foreign language. Oh, you want to watch? The web series Dark? Yes, Ritu, it is a wonderful series. I've seen it in German. It's wonderful. But you'll have to know German at least till B1 level to understand that properly. After A1, you will understand bits and pieces of Dark because Dark as it is a very complex web series. So you'll have to just work a little more on that. Yeah? Alright, sehr gut. Next, my question is, what are the things or industries or aspects in which German is like dominant, where Germany is dominant? What all do you think? Which all industries or sectors do you think that for medicine, very good. Mechanical, autos, cars, military, automobiles, they are good. Yeah. Pharmaceuticals, very good. Planes, interesting. Yeah. Sciences, engineering, very important. Yes. Production, nursing, education, wunderschön. Homeopathy. Very interesting. So many scientists are there from Germany. Do you all know? Germany has given us one of the most extraordinary scientists of all times. Teachers, yes. Export, yeah. Textile fabrics, Albert Einstein. Wunderschön. Famous. Yeah, Einstein. Hitler. Oh, of course. Let us not get into that discussion, Nidhi. But yes, Germany has also given Hitler. Karl Benz, yeah. Emil Durkheim, very famous sociologist. Sehr gut. BMW, yeah. Mercedes, BMW. Sehr gut. Oppenheimer, ja. Richtig. Yeah. Werner Heisenberg, sehr gut. I think all of you know a lot of German, wunderschön, a lot of German scientists. Yes. So all of you mentioned very correctly, automotive industry is very, very booming here. Okay, yeah, Volkswagen. Yeah, richtig. Okay, so we have mechanical engineering, which is very, very famous. A lot of students from all around the world are going to Germany to pursue the mechanical engineering over there. Okay, then you also have electrical engineering. Yeah, a lot of people are pursuing courses like this. Healthcare sector is so booming. The nursing industry is booming like anything. People from Nigeria, India, okay, all the nurses are just flooding to Germany. I think one of the very major aspects and reasons for this is that why Germany is also opening up doors to the world is because I believe the demographic dividend in Germany doesn't look very well. You see, there's a lot of elderly population in Germany currently, right? So, which is why the German government is actually looking up for youngsters or countries that have a lot of younger population to offer, right? So that people can migrate there to Germany, work over there, right? And help Germany boost their economic status currently. Yeah, yes, exactly. The elderly population is a lot there currently. Yeah. Yes, other than this, we also have the chemical and the pharmaceutical industry, which is very much booming. And of course, the food processing also. So Germany has to offer a lot. It is one of the strongest economies currently also. Yeah, in Europe in general, right? So I think that is also a very big plus point why it offers so many courses, so many job opportunities for students all around the world, right? Yeah, management and finance also. You can go there, you can study. There are vast number of courses that Germany has to offer. You just, if you know the language is the first barrier that you come across. If that is crossed, then you can pursue so many. Yeah, life sciences, environmental sciences are also there. Okay, a lot of, you can study sociology, psychology, management sector. Yeah, a lot of things. Yes, companies like DAD also offer a lot of scholarships, right? And that is why I think the fee structure in Germany is very much suitable for students, especially even if you want to do your undergrad or masters, both. Yeah, wunderschön. With this, moving ahead. Now, delving into a little bit of how much time it will take for us to complete till the C1. You see, it actually depends on how quickly you're able to study and learn it. Yeah, because you see, the German language, it depends on what pace you're able to grasp it. It is a language, okay, and completing it till C1 and C2 level means that you're almost very extremely fluent, okay, like you understand their accents, their jokes, okay, everything. So I think it takes a lot of, hospitality and tourism, Arif, is also very good. It has a lot of scope to offer. Yes. But before I delve into anything else, let me also just talk about now what are the commonalities and distinctions between English and German. Okay, so now definitely, slowly, steadily, I'm moving towards what German is as a language. You need to understand this first, and then you will be able to, move ahead and start studying the German language actually. All right. So you will be surprised to find out that German and English share 60% of the vocabularies. A lot of words that you are using currently, okay, in the English language, you will find that they are German derived. or you might not even realize that that was a particular German word. Volkswagen, for example. Volkswagen. Volks is people, wagon is a car. So people's car is Volkswagen. Similarly, have all of you tried that toffee, Alpenliebe? Have you tried it? Alpenliebe? Yes? No? Alpenliebe? No? Oh, how unfortunate. Try that. Alpenliebe is a very, very nice and tasty chocolate. I used to eat it as a child. Yeah, Alpenliebe. So the word for Alpenliebe is also German. You see, Alpen means the Alps mountains in Germany, and Liebe means love. So Alpenliebe, when combined, means love from the mountains. Okay, so why did I share this example? Yeah, Lufthansa, very good. Lufthansa, the airlines Lufthansa. Okay, very well stated. Luft is actually a translation of air. Okay, in German, Luft means air, and Hansa, okay, in Hindi, Hansa is bird. So bird flying through the air is Lufthansa, the airlines. Okay, so like this, very, very common words that you use, you don't even know that they are German words. Okay, another one I'll share, kindergarten. Right? We send our children to kindergarten. Now, kindergarten is also a German derived word. You divide this word into two parts, Kinder and Garten. Kinder in German translates to children, okay, and Garten translates to garden. So then what does it become? Kindergarten, what will it mean? Children's garden. Right? So just like this, you see, German has a lot of lengthy words. There is a myth that German language has a lot of big words, which is actually also true, right? But the catch is, once you break down these lengthy words into parts, each part will have an individual meaning and it will actually make sense. Yes, Kinderjoy, Puneet. Yes, that is also correct. Kinderjoy, children's joy. Wonderful. Such a beautiful example. Yes, Hindi, Sanskrit, German, they have a lot of common words. Veranda. You see, we use that in German as well. Yes? Yeah, Lufthansa. Luft is air. And Hansa, in Hindi, it's the bird, Hans, right? So Lufthansa means a bird flying or gliding through the air. Yeah, so that's the airlines. Okay. So yes, as stated, we have a lot of words that we already use, like kindergarten, Wanderlust. Yeah, we have Angst, which I think somebody also has stated. Yeah, the unknown bot has stated it. Yeah, so we have Angst, which means anxiety. Yeah, then we have words which are common also in English and in German. Okay, words that are very, very common in both the languages. We have words like baby, okay, like little baby. We also have words like radio, okay, radio. We pronounce this word as radio in English. In German, the pronunciation is slightly different. In German, we say radio. Radio. Okay? Yes, Amruta, that's correct. Post is another word. Post. Yes, das Auto. Mouse. Wonderful. Kaputt. Sehr gut, Shruti. Such interactive students. I'm loving this session. So good. Yes, there are so many words. You also have words like computer. Yeah, student. Sehr gut, Lavanya. Student. Okay, so words like computer. You see, computer, the spelling is the same in German as well as in English. The pronunciation will be slightly different. Yeah, in English we call it computer. In German we call it computer. Computer. No, learning German will not spoil anybody's accent or understanding. It will actually enhance it, believe me. Multilinguals are the best. Yes, Kommunikation. Very good. Kommunikation. Café is cafe. Freund. Buch. Oh wow, I can see a lot of you are already well versed with German. Wonderful. No, it will not spoil your English. It will actually give you a beautiful accent. Trust me. I have experience. Ja, Apotheker, Varun. Sehr gut. Apotheker. Sehr gut. Wunderschön. Milch. Milch. Kaffee. Sehr gut. Arbeit. You guys know quite many words. Where are you learning German from? Tell me. All of you knowing so many good words. Are you already well versed? Duolingo. Oh, everybody's favorite. They are good. Are you guys already started? Have you guys already started with Duolingo? From learning tree, okay. That's good. They are good. Wonderful. Okay, Duolingo. Somebody also said some institute, yeah? They're good. You see, Duolingo is a very good practice for German language speakers, but it is not the only thing that will get you through the A1 level. Trust me. Why is that now? Because oh yes, I will cover basics. Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. I know some of you don't know German and some of you know little bits, but don't worry, I will start from the very crux, okay? I'll not start with anything very direct, okay? Don't worry. So yes, as I was saying, see, in German, you can use Duolingo. It is a very good practice, I'm telling you. But Duolingo, unfortunately, will not offer you a very structured manner. There are a lot of things in A1 level that, you will have to follow in a structured pattern. Then only you will understand the logics of German. Otherwise, you will find yourself stranded somewhere with Duolingo. Okay? Duolingo is good once you have developed a strong base in your German language journey. You've already taken up the basic ideas, the basic grammar, how it functions, you already know it. Okay, what is the subject, verb, object, what is the sentence structure, what all do you need to focus upon, take care of while studying German as a language. Once you know these basic things, you follow it in a structured way, then only you will be able to move ahead and practice whatever you've learned in Duolingo, right? So Duolingo level, I think, should come a little bit later on, after you have some knowledge of German. Then you go to Duolingo, then you will be able to practice very well. Yes, for vocabulary itself, Duolingo is good. Yes, that's very true. Yeah, we have apps like Buzu also for German. Yeah. The best resource for books, well, there are a lot of books that you can follow. You have Netzwerk, you have Wir Plus, okay, you have Get Ready, okay, you have Sicher. There are a lot of books that you can follow for German. Okay? Yes. Now with this, I am moving ahead. My next very interesting fact that I want to share about German language. You see, when we are studying with German, whenever we are studying German, it's actually very beautiful because in English, it is slightly complex, right? In English, we deal with the present tense and we have so many more tenses, right? Not just the present one. We also have the present continuous tense, right? We have the simple present tense, we have the future tense. In German, it is relatively simpler. In German, you just have 6 tenses, okay? Out of these 6 tenses, we just use 4 major tenses in German language. And the present tense is very good. Why? Because in German, once you just know the present tense, you will be able to make sentences in the simple present tense and present continuous tense. It is actually the same in German, both the tenses. Now, what does this mean? This means that if I want to say, I go to the market, or if I want to say, I am going to the market. So if I'm saying in present continuous tense, I am going to the market, or I say, I go to the market, which is simple present tense. There is only one way of saying this sentence in German language. And that will be, Ich gehe in den Markt. Meaning, I go to the market. Right? Yes, sehr gut, Vinay. Das ist richtig. Sehr gut. Okay, that's correct, Vinay. Wonderful. Okay, so this means that the present tense in German will provide you with a lot of insights. Most importantly, you can also use the present tense in German language to indicate something happening in the near future. So although there is also a future tense in German, we actually use the present tense only to indicate things that are going to happen in the future as well. So this is very interesting. Separately, not a lot of trouble you will have while learning the future tense, because it's actually very easy in German. Okay? You can just simply use the present tense to talk about things that are going to happen in the future as well. Okay? Oh, it is the same thing with Japanese also. Wonderful. That's great. That's new information for me. I'm also learning a lot of things. Wow, that is wonderful. Okay, great. I will be moving ahead from here. Next, did you all know that German has 3 genders? Did you all know that? Yes? What are the 3 genders that we have in German? Anybody knows? Okay, Babu doesn't know. Okay, a lot of you don't know. No problem. Those who know. Anything? Feminine? Yeah. Dairy, das. Masculine? Yeah. Neutral? Wonderful. Yes. Okay, for those who don't already know, we have 3 genders in German language. We have masculine, we have the feminine gender, and we have the neutral gender. Now, my question for all of you is, listen carefully. My question is, why are the genders in German very important? Anybody knows? If I ask you, okay, let me ask you, what is the gender of a girl in English? What is gender of a girl? What will you tell me? Very easy. What is gender of a girl? She or female, feminine gender. Correct. Very good. Absolutely correct. But if you guys might be thinking, now this is so obvious. Why is ma'am asking me that? Right? You all might be thinking it's so easy, right? But I'm asking this because it is not very obvious. Okay, it is not very obvious in German language. In German, a girl is not female in gender. Rather, a girl is neutral in gender. Okay? A girl. I'm not talking about Frau Varun. Frau is a lady. I'm talking about girl. Mädchen. So a girl will be neutral in gender. Das Mädchen. Sehr gut. Ja. Ja, Eric. Mädchen. Sehr gut. So a girl is actually neutral in gender. So now, isn't that very surprising for us? This is why the genders are very, very, very important in German language. Why? Because all the objects that you will be dealing with, yes, Nidhi, that's right. Das Mädchen. A will have the umlauts, the 2 dots. Mädchen. Okay? Now these genders are so important. Why? Because in German, every object that you will be dealing with will have a particular gender. If I talk about a phone, a mobile phone is neutral in gender in German. If I talk about a table, dining table is masculine. If I talk about a door is feminine in German. Okay? So this means that in German, you will actually have to memorize all of the genders of all the objects that you're dealing with. Now, a lot of you can ask, yes, see, Aisha already asked the question. How? How is that possible? How will you be able to deal with so many objects? How will you be able to memorize so many new genders? So, well, there is a lifesaver, don't worry. In German, there are certain rules, okay? Those rules will help you figure out which word will be what gender. Okay? So those rules, do you find that I'm going a little, my speed is little quick? Yes, I think Ritu has said, okay, I'll try to take it a little slow. No, it's fine. Okay, I'll try to pace it up a little bit, yeah? I'll try to maintain a good pace. Okay. Yes, as I was saying, in German, there are certain rules for us, okay? Certain rules that we have to take care of. So once we do those rules, they are concerned with the nouns, okay? So once we do those rules, you will be able to understand what object will have what gender. I will share an example. There is a rule in German language that says if a word ends with the alphabet E, okay? If there is any word that ends with the alphabet E, then it will, like, it's not 100% sure, but 95% of the times, because German is a language, right? It will have its own exceptions as well. So these rules will have exceptions as well. Those we will do in class step by step, don't worry. Okay? Yes, so as I was saying, there's a rule that in German, if any word ends with a E, then it will most probably be a feminine noun. It will be feminine. Okay? For example, I think somebody else also stated Katze. What is Katze? Katze. What is Katze? Yes, very good. Wonderful. So many of you already know it. Super, wunderschön. Katze is a cat. Okay? Yes, Katze is cat. And because this word ends with a E, it will have a female gender. And why is it important for us to know the genders as well? Because in German, it is slightly different than how we treat the articles in English. In English, if I want to say the boy, the girl, the cat, the dog, the chair, the table, all of this will only have one article, which is the. Irrespective of the gender that you are dealing with, you will just use the article the in English, right? The boy, the girl, the cat, the dog, the chair, the table. Irrespective of genders of all these objects or people, you will use the article the in English. It's common for all, right? But the issue with German is the article the changes in German according to the gender we are dealing with. So for example, the example that I mentioned earlier, Katze. Katze was cat. Remember? Cat. And I told you that because it ends with a E, it is going to be feminine in gender. Right? So that means that the article for Katze is going to be die Katze. Why? Because die is the feminine gender in German. So can you read on your screens what is this der, die, das? So actually this word der, 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 is the masculine gender. The article for the masculine gender in German is called der. Then this word die is the feminine article. Die. Die is used for the feminine gender in German. And then comes das. Das indicates the neutral gender in German language. Okay? So remember I told you Mädchen, which means a girl, that is neutral in gender. So we'll say das Mädchen. Katze ends with a E. It means cat, right? So we say die Katze, which is feminine in gender. Alright? Okay. Yes, Varun, you've asked that same question more than once. That there is a word in German called Junge, which is pronounced as Junge. Junge is a boy. So Varun is asking that Junge ends with a E, but why is it not feminine? Because it is an exception. In German, we will also be studying that there is another rule also for us that states if we are dealing with a masculine person or masculine gender, like masculine individual, a person or an animal that is masculine and still ends with a E, then that person will not be considered as female. The person will be considered as masculine. When we start up the classes in German, we will be doing this topic in greater detail, so you will be understanding these rules much better. Okay? Yes, Junge, because J in German is pronounced as Y. J gives the sound of Y. Okay, that is why. Junge. Okay? Sehr gut. Now with this, let us move ahead. Very interesting part again is, do you all recall the beta sign in mathematics? All of us would have done mathematics at some point of time in life. Yes? That beta sign in mathematics has been taken up by the German alphabetical order. Okay? And we use the beta sign in German as one of the alphabets. This beta is actually also called SZ. SZ. And what is this role of SZ? SZ gives the sound of double S in German. This sound is given by the SZ. Okay, there are so many words that you can make from this SZ. This was just interesting, so I've incorporated this in the induction. Okay? Alright, super. Weiter. There are a lot of false friends also in German, guys. So before you start studying German, Then before that, please know there are a lot of words that will leave you confused. Okay? For example, one of the first false friends for us is gift. Anybody knows meaning of gift? Gift is not present in German. Gift means poison. Yes, correct. Very good. Sai, Flame, Nitin, sehr gut. Yeah? Gift is actually poison. Yeah? Similarly, anybody knows what might caution mean? Kaution. What might that be? The second word here. What might this word be? Anybody knows? Sehr gut. Yes, the security. Kaution is security. It is not caution. See, that is why it is called a false friend. It is not caution. It looks like caution in English, but it is not. It is the security deposit. Kaution. Okay? Similarly, this word, Kellner. Anybody knows what is this Kellner? In English, Kellner looks like basement. Yeah? Basement, Kellner. But in German, yes, very good. So many of you already know it. In German, Kellner actually means a waiter. Okay? So you'll find a lot of such confusing words that are exactly the same in German and in English. So beware of these false friends, okay? Another word for us is rat. Rat. It is not rat. In English, you might read it as rat. So you'll think we are talking about the mouse. But here it is rat. Rat in German means advice. Yes, Babu. Rat means Jerry. But in English, in German, it is not Jerry. In German language, rat is an advice. A suggestion, an advice is rat. Okay? Next one, aktuell. Aktuell. Anybody knows what aktuell means? Aktuell? It looks like actual, na? Actual? But it actually means current. Very good. So many of you know it. I'm so impressed. Sehr gut. Wunderschön. Very nice. And hell. Imagine hell. The word hell. We think that it means, oh, what the hell? But no. This word in German means bright. Ja, wunderschön. Sehr gut. Sehr gut. All of you know it already. Very impressed. Sehr gut. Okay, so my purpose for filling this as false friends is that remember to beware of such false friends in German language. Okay, and in life also in general. Okay, wunderschön. And then comes the Denglisch. Anybody knows what Denglisch is? Denglisch. Yes, Ritu. Life is hell. Life is bright. Sehr gut. Yes, what about Denglisch? Denglisch here. Yes. Dutch und English? Nein. Deutsch und English. Deutsch? What is the meaning of Deutsch? Deutsch means German. Just like English, which is Hindi plus German, we have Denglisch, which is Deutsch plus English or English. Yeah? German plus English is Denglisch. So, this says, according to Denglisch, I want to explain to you that there are a lot of words that have been borrowed from the English language. And we are also giving it a German touch. For example, cool. Germans use this word a lot, especially the teenagers. They use cool a lot. Second word you can see, shoppen. Shoppen. What does that recall? What do you think shoppen would mean? What would shoppen mean? Yes, to shop. Okay, to shop. Shoppen. Sehr gut. What would joggen mean? Joggen. Jogging. Perfect. Wonderful. Yes, same but different. Yes, joggen. Then we have chillin. You know how we say, no, it's not chilling, it is to chill. Yeah, in English we say no. Let's just chill for a while. Chill. So, Germans have borrowed that word and made it chillin. Okay, chillin. Jogging, not jogging. Yeah, it will be considered as joggen. Yes, joggen, not joggen. Because this is again an exception. Yes. Okay. Oh yes, somebody else also mentioned that to me. That German words look like some spell from the Harry Potter movies. That is very interesting observation. Yes. Cool is cool. Yes, cool is cool. Then we have pushen. It means to push through life. To push ahead, to move ahead. Pushen. Then we have jobben. What would jobben mean? Anybody knows? Job, to work. Jobben. Then very easy. We have singen. Singen. Sehr gut. To sing. Singen. Yes, correct. Singen. And then the last one, mappen. What would mappen mean? Mappen. To map out things. To have a wider view. To map it out. Yes, to map it out. Mappen. So you will find so many words that are borrowed from the English language and altered a little bit. Packen. Sehr gut. Packen. Packen is also another example. Sehr gut. Packen. Spelling error is there, Amrita. But it's correct. Packen. Okay? Singen is singing. Yes, absolutely correct. Okay? So just like this, you will find a lot of words. Jobben means to work. To go for job. Yeah, job. Yes. We use the senden. Pooja, wonderful. Senden is to send. S-E-N-D-E-N. Senden also is a borrowed word from English, to send. Yeah? Huren. The spelling for Huren is wrong, Vinay. Huren. H-O-R-E-N. O with umlauts. Huren. Shoppen means to shop. Then einkaufen. Einkaufen is also to shop actually. To go for shopping is einkaufen gehen. Ja means yes. Yes, that's correct. Ja is yes. Wunderschön. Wonderful. Okay. At Cochiva, a German language A1 course is designed with a systematic approach, combining expert-led live sessions, customized learning material, real-life practice, and a student-first methodology. Also, an early bird alert. Enroll now and grab flat 20% off because great learning shouldn't wait and neither should great offers. All details and registration links are right below. Check the description now and take your first step towards becoming a confident German speaker with Cochiva. Bis bald und ganz viel Erfolg. Tschüss and keep learning with Cochiva.